as a tutor, do you find that every week you're working for an hour, getting paid, and you might be delivering really good sessions, but you're not 100% sure if they're going to continue the next week, and you're chasing the payments every week, and that's eating into your time? I'm Rob, and in my tutoring business, I've managed to double my revenue, and I now work full time as a tutor to support my family. And in this video series, I'm going to be talking about the small changes that I've made in terms of strategy, things that I've implemented within the business, and leveraging AI to help me to grow. So, the first thing that I did when I was starting out is I started to realize that I was working for an hour and getting charged to the parents and then chasing that payment, and I was getting paid weekly. And I started to look at some videos by Alex Hormozy, who I'd really recommend following and getting acquainted with his videos and his ideas around business, because I wanted to get some more predictability in my revenue. So I wanted to make sure that I was getting paid regularly and that I would know how much money was coming into my business and how I could spend that. So the first shift that I made was that when a parent and their child has their first session, if they decide that we're a good fit and they wish to continue, I would say to them up front that they would pay for 10 session blocks. Now, for me personally, that was a really difficult thing for me to try to implement, because I felt that it would be too much money. People wouldn't be able to pay that, and I would lose clients as a result. But actually, I found that it was better for the business and for the parents themselves, because they didn't have to pay each week and do their own admin like that. I didn't have to chase them, and they knew that they were getting a decent tutor for a specific amount of time, 10 weeks potentially, or if they were having twice a week, then about a month. So for me, that change massively shifted my thoughts on the business, and it went from being a hobby or a little bit of extra spend to starting to become a fully fledged business that I could then transition out the classroom and into. So up front, you're telling the parents this is going to be a 10 session block. If you want to have that initial session, then that's something that they know up front and are aware of. The second mindset shift that I made was protecting my session slots, because what was happening is some of the students and the parents were a little bit flaky at times. Not many, but a couple of them, they're not feeling great today, or they've got a thing that I forgot about. Sorry about that. We're going to have to cancel. And as I was starting to get bigger, I had a waiting list of students that wanted to work with me, and I could have scheduled a slot with them if I'd had sufficient notice. So that change for me was very difficult, because I would be trying to be accommodating and providing a good service. Don't worry, I'll rearrange, not to worry, don't worry about it, these sorts of things. But for one client, that actually cost me about £200 in cancelled sessions. And I started to realize that actually that's impacting my family and my business, even though I'm trying to accommodate somebody else. So if there's an emergency, like I've had students who had to go to the hospital and injured themselves at sports and things, then fine. That's very rare. But in general, by changing your mindset about this and protecting yourself and being a little bit more assertive about your time, that encouraged the parents to commit a lot more to my sessions and to value my time and what service I was providing a lot more. So I really think those two mindset shifts, which are small things to say, but for me, where I was trying to put other people ahead of myself, that was a really difficult thing initially. And now it's almost like a template for new clients. These are my terms and conditions. And when they forget, or I've messaged them at the beginning of the session, they go, "Oh, we forgot to let you know." "Oh, yeah, you charge me." That's a totally different conversation to, oh, can we just rearrange, like very flippant, don't, not really valuing my time and my sessions. So it's been a lot more of a confidence boost for me to say, actually, no, I'm a professional. If you were to have a doctor's appointment or a private therapy session or something like that that you booked and paid for in advance and you cancelled, then that would be charged for. So why shouldn't we do that as professionals, as teachers and tutors, to protect our time and our income? So this is my first video on this series of things that I've implemented within my business. These are genuine things that I've done, not just some guru talking online about things that they haven't actually done. These are genuine things that I've implemented to help my business grow, and that now I can more than double charge for my service because I'm growing and I'm getting more in demand, getting booked out fully, and starting to grow that business and have that as a full-time income. So thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or there's any other topics that you would like to discuss, then please leave them in the comments below.